What's going on, YouTube? Top of the morning to you, and to all my fellow truckers out there, and all my fellow YouTubers. As you can see, we're having a beautiful day here. I just popped out of the tunnel here in Baltimore, Maryland, headed northbound, and I woke up to this nastiness today. So, beautiful day as we speak. But I tell you what, I can't complain. I don't remember the last time I've had a rainy day. It's been that long that I've driven through rain, essentially. Probably a month, if not more, has passed by. So that one day, few and far between, is no room to complain. But I'll tell you what, it does fit in quite nicely into today's topic that I wanted to cover with you guys, is getting sick out here on the roads. It's inevitable, guys. The weather, that we're out here in the elements every day, day in and day out. And winter is upon us, guys. Winter is upon us, and some of you guys already has felt that. He's stuck in the snow, especially in the Midwest. So we're out here in the elements, and it's so easy to get sick. It's so easy. For example, you start your day off, you get your nice, you get nice and cozy, you get your heat going up for the day, you got your coffee in hand. Well, eventually you're going to have to get out of that truck. You're going to be stuck out here in the water, getting wet and getting cold. That's a surefire recipe for getting sick, guys. So are we actually prepared for stuff like that? And aside from just the weather itself, you go to these shippers and receivers, these truck stops, the people you come across, well, you never know what they got going on in their system. You really don't. And it's very easy to catch a bug, as we've seen in 2021 with the whole coronavirus stuff. It's crazy, but less detrimental. We're talking about the cold and the flu and the things along those lines. And also the truck stop food that we come across. Well, those truck stop hot dogs can get you in trouble sometimes. The Taco Bell and all that stuff. Taco Bell, you've got a bad rep, and I'm sure you know about it. Your food comes out the wrong way. Not the way it's supposed to, but that's another subject for another time. But, being prepared for all of that and being mindful about situations along those lines. Well, what I mean by being prepared is for smaller things along those lines, like a cold and the flu. I say small, but, it sucks. It truly does. Having a medicine cabinet prepared for yourself, what I've got in the back of my truck is what I call my little pharmacy, and it's stocked up with medicines for essentially any eventuality out here on these roads. Whether you have your common headache, the pressures outside, the barometric pressures can change a lot, and if you're dealing with low blood pressure, things along those lines, yeah, it can get pretty nasty for you. So it's good to have some Advil or Tylenol or Excedrin or whatever it is along those lines. Now, when you get into cold medicine, you got your Tylenol cold and flu, you got your Theraflus and all that stuff. Your Taco Bell, you gotta have that Tums, you gotta have that laxatives and all that stuff as well. I mean, having been prepared for basically every scenario. And aside from that, is having a good supply of food. Don't skimp out on your food, guys, on your meals for the day. It's so easy to get caught up in a schedule and things like that, and you can ignore eating on time and eating regularly. So having a good supply of food as well to help your body and your immune system to ward off quicker the things that we can come across, as well as a good supply of water. When you're downing these medicines, they've got side effects, guys. They do. So it's easier on your system if you drink a good cold glass of water with that medicine as well. Not to mention the fact that it's also flushing out a little quicker all that stuff that your body is battling through as well. And one thing to be mindful of is when you're stocking up your own personal medicine cabinet back here in the sleeper, be mindful of the medication that you pick. The last thing you really need is to have medications that will cause you to be drowsy. That's the stuff you got to avoid. Because not only are you in a weakened state to begin with when you're sick, the last thing you really need is to start downing medication that's going to make your situation even that much worse. You don't want to be falling asleep here behind the wheel. That's going to be a very bad day for you and as well as everybody else around you. So be mindful and be respectful of that aspect as well. And additionally, don't wait till the last minute till you're in dire straits to start taking medication. Don't be stubborn. If you start feeling sick or you start feeling that scratchy throat or whatever it is, everybody knows their own body. When you're coming down with something. That's about the time you really should start be taking something. Don't wait till the last minute, you know. But going into the aspect of being smart about how you go about things, you know, yes, we're all on a time schedule, but don't ever feel like you're forced into having to keep up with that schedule. You know, there's no load, there's no broker, there's no contract, there's no job that will ever be more important than your own personal health and safety. You know, sometimes the best medication is to jump in the back and ride it out. And you got to tell whoever you're working for, or, you know, your broker or whoever it is, hey, listen, I can't do it. I can't keep up with the schedule. I'm going to be late. This is what's going on. You just got to ride it out, jump in the back under the covers and sweat it out, so to speak. Don't ever feel like you're forced into keeping up that schedule because for whatever reason that it may be, you know. But going into another topic, another side of this is that, well, that's just being, you know, sick, being physically, you got the cold, you got the flu, or whatever it may be. But what about a situation that, well, you're needing to seek medical attention? You know, listen, let's be honest, let's not sugarcoat it. We're running a pretty dangerous a gig here. And it can be very stressful and cause a lot of anxiety. You know, we've heard it many times that a driver caught a heart attack or a stroke or a seizure of some sort. Guys, you know, sometimes you need to be less stubborn sometimes, and that's something I need to work on personally sometimes, you know, is you know when to throw in a towel and say, hey, okay, I really need to park my truck in a safe spot, in a place that I know it's going to be secure, and call the police, call the EMS, go seek some medical attention, go to the hospital. Don't ever push yourself beyond your breaking point, you know, to a point of no return. Remember that, guys. Be smart. Be smart on these roads. And again, I need to reiterate, don't ever feel like you're forced into doing something. Don't ever feel like you're forced into going beyond what you're physically capable of at that time. Again, no load is more important. There's no job is more important. You know, and then when it comes to your personal health and safety, money's not a factor at this point. You need to take care of yourself, take care of your health, and be mindful of that aspect. You know, this is going to be a short subject, short video, but an important one nonetheless, and it should not be ignored. It really shouldn't. So be mindful, guys, of that aspect. Be mindful of your own health and your safety out on these roads. You know, it's so easy to catch something. It's so easy to find yourself in that situation. So let's be smart, guys. And on that note, stay safe, everybody. Stay healthy. I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.